700 horses of man and machine. They're full wide. Green flag, showtime. The Knoxville Nationals are green. It's a phenomenal championship night tonight for Dirt Modifieds, and it ends at one of the most perfect places you can end a modified championship. The Steel Palace, Oswego Speedway, invades as the Clay Palace now, where we crown 358 modified and big block modified champions tonight in another edition of Thursday Night Thunder. Well, we've got exciting points battles all around in the 358 modified division. 3 drivers with good chances at the championship. Trevor Giroux leads by 36 on Anthony Morano with Sam Bachman 49 back. As for the big blocks, 21 points separate Brandon Templeton from Anthony Morano, with Dylan Kinsey not too far behind. There it is, a look for the outside of the Oswego Speedway. I'll actually be there tomorrow for Classic Weekend, all 3 days on the asphalt side with DLM Superstocks, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and of course the Super Modifieds. We're so glad you could join us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Sakala with you. Thank you all so much for joining us here. The Thursday night showing has been an awesome division to watch all season long, of the Modifieds in general. Whether you give them a setup, whether you can give them a setup on Thursdays, or say pick whatever you want for a setup on Monday nights. It's been so much fun, no matter what it's been. The racing has definitely improved with the setups that iRacing as well as other setup providers have given us. And we are in for just a great treat as we close out the 2024 summer season, I should say. So, qualifying moments away from starting. Here's a look at the practice times as things stand, where Brandon Templeton is your quickest at a 18.342. Big block points leader on the top of the charts, with Clay Christopherson in second at a 18.39. some pretty cool things the drivers are doing here tonight. Dean Reynolds brought this up. Well, we are at Oswego. They've got the Super Dirt Week graphics on it. And, of course, Super Dirt Week is just over a month from taking place here in Central New York. Why not get some of the real paint schemes? Bring them out there, kind of like throwback night we did. I think it was last season as well, honoring some of the cool drivers we've got that have joined us in real life. You'll see some of them, obviously, as always. Dean likes to pay tribute to his good buddy Roger Horvath. If you look at some of the other paint schemes, I took a look at what Brian Lawson's honoring. That's his small block scheme. Rooting for Alex Payne, the rookie driver in the Super Dirt Car Series. Glad to see an Alex Payne paint scheme with us here tonight. I think it was Brian Dickens. He had a Danny Johnson ride. Let me see if we can find that. There it is. He's got the Dr. Shackleton Auto Parts 27J ride out there on the track. I think we could see a lot of them in the big blocks later on tonight. But obviously the paint schemes will change between 358s and big blocks. We've got a great car count for you this evening. 23 drivers as of right now are checking in. And as we get set to go, we just took the checkered flag here on practice, so qualifying will begin momentarily. And while we get set to go, let us know who you are rooting for in the chat tonight. Give us a little hello, hola, whatever you want to say, what's up, and we will give you a shout out live and on the air here. First driver on the 5/8 mile facility is the driver of the Hammerdown Racing Dirt Track Bank number 31, B-Town Brandon Templeton. See your favorite drivers' times on the bottom of the screen. We will pull up the lap times here as they complete each of the 2 laps. 2 minutes for the drivers here to take some time. You can't wait too long because the lap times here just under 20 seconds at the Oswego Speedway. Lap number 1 for Brandon Templeton, a 1972. Dylan Kinsey puts her to the top at a 1969. Randall Dixon second at 1971. The jokester, Michael Vitale. Now Clay Christopherson with a 1959. Sam Bachman, one of the contenders for the championship, has a 1953. And now the lap times start to decrease. Brett Walsh, quickest of anyone in Sector 2. Let's keep him in mind, though, as he is 10th. He's making his way through turns number 3 and 4. What can the Hitman work on off the corner? So Bachman still remains the quickest driver, better in Sector 1. The lap time puts him up to 9th at a 1971. Blake Chapman, the Renegades champion, comes across the start-finish line. Does he have a better lap in him? Yes, he does. 1965, 5th quickest for the Salesman. Craig Bristow across the line. He completes lap number 1, and Bristow goes 20th at a 1990. This is the final driver to qualify on the racetrack. He has 10 seconds to complete a lap. So it's either Sam Bachman or Craig Bristow that will start on the pole right now. At the moment, we would have 3 heats for you this evening. Won't get there in time. And so Brett Walsh, Randall Dixon, Brandon Templeton will start on pole for each of the 3 heats we have here this evening. So we're ready to go for our first heat of the night, which is brought to you by Gambler Motorsports, official team of the Coast to Coast Racing League. And so the Hitman on pole position, the 520. Next to him, it's the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. The only driver that can contend for both championships here tonight. Row number 2, the Jokester, Michael Vitale in the 213, and Sam Bachman in the 107. Row number 3, it's Bob DeGood. He's in the number 7, and the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux, next to him in the 75. Final row tonight, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75, and the Brewer to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Jason Butterfield checking into the chat as always, rooting for Trevor Giroux. Saw him in Discord a little while ago. He's Speaking of Anthony Morano as well, we do want to give him a congratulations on winning the Matinee 358s title. Alrighty, winner starts on pole position tonight for our 30-lap feature for the 358 Modifieds. Heat number 1 is underway. Good start for the 52 of Walsh as him and Morano stay wheel to wheel. Morano with a great exit off at turn number 2 as he and the 52 still battle it out for the top spot. Morano able to clear as Anthony Morano leads lap number 1. Good battle for second as Walsh and Bachman barely come to blows. Both of them push up the hill for just a moment. And the Hitman doesn't want to crack at second. He also wants a crack at the race lead. Morano just barely able to clear him into turn number 3. And once again, Walsh's car appears to be pushing tight in that number 52. Morano kisses the wall. Bachman threads the needle. 3 wide for the top spot. And Brett Walsh takes home the Kmart discount. Goes 2 for 1 to the top spot. So he's able to regain the lead once again. Morano, though, also wants it back. Still in third, the 107 of Bachman. Great battle for fourth between the Jokester and the Philly Flyer. Giroux underneath, but Vitale the preferred line off at turn 2. Let's go back to the race for the top spot. Morano, great entry into turn number 3. Slide jobs Trevor Brett Walsh, and the 52 counters it back. 2 laps to go in heat race number 1. A great 3-car battle for pole position here tonight. On board with Bachman in the 107, who's getting a great idea of how this one's happening. Walsh puts in the slide job. May have been some contact between the top 2. Great exit from Sam Bachman. He's wheel to wheel with the 32 with 1 to go. Morano tries to put it in deep as Bachman kisses the wall. He's out of the battle for pole position. It's either Walsh or Morano. The 52 tries to play defense. Nearly hits the Jersey barrier. Great 3 and 4 for Anthony Morano. The 2 touch. Brett Walsh starts on pole position tonight. Bachman second, Morano third, Vitale fourth, Giroux fifth, Barker sixth, DeGood seventh, and Bixler eighth. What a way to kick off the night. We now move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. Here's the starting lineup. Randall Dixon on pole position in the 011 to his outside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. Row number 2, the Salesman, Renegades champion Blake Chapman. And next to him, it's the 51 of Clay Christopherson. Row number 3, Dean Reynolds in car number 79, honoring Roger Hervath. To the outside, it's Brian Lawson in car number 9, honoring Alex Payne in the Slide Job Express. Final row tonight, Bristol. Craig Bristol in the number 39. To his outside, it's Michael Vecchio driving car number 007. Butters rooting for Brian Lawson, hammer down. Great catching up with Butters for, I think it was exactly 1 second. So the winner starts on the outside of the front row. It's the Bandit, brings us to the green flag. Here we go for Heat 2. Dixon caught sleeping at the drop of the green flag, so Kinsey, as well as the Full Throttle Motorsports team, have the advantage. Blake Chapman peeked his nose underneath, thought about going 3 wide, but has second thoughts about it. But we're 3 wide for the race lead. Christopherson in the middle, and Dixon downstairs, but it's Kinsey that leads lap number 1. A great race for fourth as well between Brian Lawson and Blake Chapman. The 78 a little bit sideways, allowing the Salesman to get a great exit in turn number 2. Christopherson now challenges his teammate for the race lead. Battle for a front row spot on the line. Dixon stays in the 3rd spot. Dino wants a crack at the 3rd position as well between Chapman and Lawson. Nice run to turn number 3 for the driver of the number 20 on board with Dino. Dean Reynolds who Saturday will be hanging out at Lebanon Valley for Mr. Dirt Track USA. Ooh, bad turn one, and he puts it into the boilerplate. Puts him all the way down into the 7th position. Let's put our eyes back up near the front. Dylan Kinsey with the quickest lap in a 1972, but Kristofferson not too far back in a 1973. 2 to go in Heat 2. Quickest driver that last lap was Blake Chapman at a 1969. Put up 3/10 on Brian Lawson. But the 78 has been able to fight his way back in the battle for 4th in the end. Final lap underway. All the drivers just getting the groove here, just trying to get a feel for their cars in heat action. Before we go feature racing, Kristofferson, one last chance in 3 and 4 on the bottom. Dylan Kinsey on the top, that helps him out. Dylan Kinsey, your Heat 2 winner, he starts on the front row. Kristofferson 2nd, Dixon 3rd, Chapman 4th, Lawson 5th, Reynolds 6th, Vecchio 7th, and Bristol in 8th. One more heat race left to go tonight, brought to you by Maurer Farm Management. Here's the starting lineup. B-Temp, big block points leader. Brandon Templeton on pole position tonight in the number 31. To his outside, the 00, driven by Harold Klump. I can't tell what the throwback is. If anyone knows what it is, shoot me a message on the YouTube chats. Logan Wentz inside of row number 2. To his outside, it's Dan McLaren, Soupy in the 88. Row number 3, Brian Dickens in the number 122. The Doctor to the outside of Glenn Sharp in the 99. Final driver on the grid. Nice to see him back with us, a part-timer, Chris Alvey in car number 96. Final heat race for the 358s tonight. As the winner starts tonight on the inside of row number 2. Great crowd here at the Oswego Speedway. We'll see a great crowd Sunday, that's for sure, in the 200. By the way, get iRace, get super modifieds on iRacing as we're green for Heat 3. Great jump from Brandon Templeton. Already has 2nd and 3rd clear. Klump with company for 2nd, though, by Logan Wentz. No yaw for just a moment in turn number 3, but finds a way to turn it sideways. Dan McLaren, though, challenges him for 3rd. Lap number 1, led by B-Temp, and is a 5-car battle for that runner-up spot. Wentz and Klump nearly touching turn number 2 as those cars get drastically sideways off the corner. Definitely need to have a good throttle control on the exit turn number 2. It's kind of like Darlington, where the Cup Series is this weekend. Take you on board here with Harold Klump. Battling Dan McLaren for that 3rd position. Trying to protect the top, and so keep that 88 plugged on the bottom. Brian Dickens looking for the 4th position. Normally, if we had over 24 drivers, that'd be the final transfer spot, but everybody makes the show tonight regardless. Still Brandon Templeton up in front, the 31 car, 1956, and then picked up 0.3 of a second that last lap. The lead over 1 second. He has had the quickest laps that anyone has run here tonight. And B-Temp will be a threat, that's for sure, for victory. Coming from 3rd on the grid, but it just has to secure it. 1 lap to go. We still watch this race for the 3rd position. Brian Dickens considering threading the needle. He's got the gap to do it, but doesn't have the speed to go through the lane. Oh, McLaren caught the Jersey barrier. I turned around the 2. Out of the race is Dickens. McLaren finds a way to come through to 3rd. Who's going to come across the line in 4th? Glenn Sharp got a Ricky Bobby across the line. No, he doesn't. He gets her back out in forward gear. Harold Klump with an opportunity for 4th. A good finish at the end for the 99, the 00. Brandon Templeton, though, your Heat 3 winner. But that got a little bit controversial at the end, that's for sure. Shouldn't say controversial, but just driver error, that's for sure. McLaren went a little bit too deep in the corner and caught the 27 Jaya Dickens, and nowhere to go were a bunch of other drivers. So we will step aside here. Our first feature of the night coming up next on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
You're watching the Coast to Coast Racing League 358th Division on the C2C Racing Network, presented by Flatline Racing Bodies.
Thursday Night Thunder brought to you by Flatline Racing Bodies as warm-ups continue on here. Quickest driver on track, Sam Bachman in the 107. He's working with a 1967 at the moment. Dan McLaren second, Brandon Templeton third, Dylan Kinsey fourth, Anthony Morano rounds out the top five. There's a look at Brian Lawson. Ninth quickest, Brian out of Regency Home Inspection. Sponsors our Open 358 division on Monday night. We appreciate him for his support. It's 23 cars. We'll take the green tonight here for our 30-lap feature. It's going to be a great night of racing here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Megan checking in, as always, rooting for Dean. Megan and Buddy, should be specific there. Hope you're doing well, Megan. So warm-ups are just wrapping up here, which they just did. And let's meet the field for our first feature of the night. Here's a look at the RSN Trackside starting lineup. On the pole, the hitman, Brett Walsh in the 52. To his outside, it's Dylan Kinsey in the 639. Row number 2, B-Town, Brandon Templeton in the 31. And Sam Bachman in the 107. Row number 3, Clay Christopherson in the 51. And Logan Wentz in the 118. Row 4, the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32. And Randall Dixon in the 011. Randall Dixon, known as the Bandit, by the way. Rounding out the top 10, Soupy Dan McLaren in the 88, and the Jokester, Michael Vitale in the 213. Row number 6, the Salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20, and Glenn Sharp in the 99. Row 7, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 75, and Brian Lawson driving Alex Payne, 78. Row number 8, Harold Klump in the 00, and the Brood to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Rest of the grid tonight, Dean Reynolds in the Roger Horvath 79 next to Brian Dickens in the 122. Row number 10, Bob DeGood in the number 7 and Michael Vecchio in the 007. Row 11, Chris Salvi in the 96 and the Mayor Steve Bixler in the 75. Rounding out the grid tonight, Bristol, baby Craig Bristol in the 39. Time for picks to win tonight's feature. I am going to go with Kinsey in the 639 to take you home, either him or Brandon Templeton. A reminder, the point standings coming on in with the drops does not include qualifying. A 36-point lead for Trevor Giroux on Anthony Morano. Sam Bachman back 49 if issues happen amongst the top two. Steve King Foundation pace car pulls onto pit road. We are ready to go for the Flatline Racing Bodies green flag. For the first time tonight, it is time to shake and bake here at the Clay Palace. The field makes the way off of turn number 4. The Hitman and Kinsey bring us the green on championship night. First feature is green. Off of turn number 2, Dylan Kinsey with a great jump. Brett Walsh underneath looking for the race lead after he was battling Sam Bachman for the 2 spot. Lap number 1 up on the board, led by Dylan Kinsey. Sam Bachman shows his nose underneath. Looks for the bite off at turn number 2 as the full throttle teammates. Oh, a big hit for Dan McLaren in the steel barrier. Michael Vitale, Steve Bixler, the doctor is involved, Glenn Sharp. Yellow lights are on for the first time tonight. I was watching that at the back of the pack with one eye and the race for the lead in the other, and you could just tell that was going to get violent. Contact between McLaren and Christopherson, got the 88 sideways. Good way to save it there. Then a bumper from Randall Dixon. Vitale involved. Man, look at McLaren on 2 wheels. All 4 wheels off the ground for Steve Bixler. And how McLaren's car is still going, even when it took out a steel wall, that I have no idea. Let's ride on board with a couple of drivers here. Steve Bixler in the back of the pack. Missed one, but couldn't miss the other one. Let's go with Glenn Sharp in the 99. Caught the bumper of the Jokester. It's just a stack up out of the Australian gate. I believe that's what it always is in turn 2 at Super Dirt Week. I call it as well the pedestrian gate because there are pedestrian stairs that help those on the back straight walk their way into the infield. So coming to the restart here, first double file restart of the night at Oswego. Dylan Kinsey, Sam Bachman, row 1, Brandon Templeton, Brett Walsh, row number 2, Anthony Morano, Logan Wentz, row 3, Blake Chapman, Clay Christopherson, row 4, Brian Lawson and Jeff Barker round out the top 10. Ready to come back to the green flag. It is Kinsey with lane choice as we are back to green. Top 3 stay single file. Brett Walsh, first one not on the attic line for a moment, was half a car length below. Brandon Templeton now shows his nose downstairs, and same with Anthony Morano and Logan Wentz. Got to be very sensitive with the throttle throughout the corners as B-Temp actually kisses the boilerplate as we got a race for the lead. Here comes Bachman underneath on Dylan Kinsey. Can the 007 put it out in front? He's got the 639 clear, throws a slide job in the corner, now just has to secure it at the line. Kinsey, though, tries to crisscross the battle for the top spot. New leader at Sam Bachman in the 107. Anthony Morano in this championship battle as well, along with Sam Bachman looking for third. Trevor Giroux, not been a good start for the Philly Flyer, qualified 13th. And he's currently running in the 11th spot if Dean Reynolds gets past him. Keep in mind the drops that could come into effect. Here's a 3-way battle for the runner-up position. Anthony Morano, quickest car on the track, a 1975 last lap. For the drive of the FTM, 32. In fact, FTM has a 1-2-3 at the moment. I think it was Volusia. They went 1-2-3-4. Who they have to beat to get the win? The guy in fourth, Brandon Templeton. And it was Murano that took the win in the Open 358 season finale at Volusia. Was his lone win in Open 358 action. Bachman is one of the few drivers that's running the top. He wants to pull away from Murano and company. I think everybody else at the moment is just trying to save their tires here for later on in this race. You know, sometimes this track is bad on tires. So you kind of want to save tires here as well at the same time. Templeton decides to work up the hill. Looking for some good exit off at turn number 4. Doesn't go the way he wants. As we work lap number 10, let's show up the 5-lap average for the first time tonight. I'll show you the quickest race car. Both your top 2 drivers, Sam Bachman and Anthony Murano, putting up some great laps, but also the guy in 5th spot, Clay Christopherson, battling Brett Walsh for that spot. It's putting together some great laps in that 51 machine. Anthony Murano, meanwhile, a driver that likes the low line in modifieds, especially later on the feature, has closed the gap in. Last time by, he cut the gap down 0.2. A look at the last 5 laps. Murano's been the quicker car in the last 3. Just had an incident moments ago between Craig Bristol, Brian Dickens, and Steve Bixler. No caution waved. We stay under the green flag. Walsh and Christopherson remain side by side for that 5th spot. We're still watching the battle for the top spot. Murano following Bachman at the moment, but different grooves in the corner. Now Bachman cuts off Murano's low lines. The 32 follows the 107. Let's get back to that challenge for 5th between Christopherson and Brett Walsh. Sounds like Craig Bristol just left pit road with a quick repair, so we could see some lap traffic in just a matter of moments. Back to the race for the lead. Under half a car length down the back chute between Bachman and Murano. Here comes the 32 all the way down in Mama's basement. Looking for the lead off at turn 4. Can't get the bite needed. Bachman hangs on for now. Cross flags away from Dave Barney. 15 down and 15 to go. Biggest mover on the track, Dean Reynolds, up 8 spots into 9th position. Here comes the 32. Your top 2, door panel to door panel for the race lead. Can Murano put her to the point? Remember, these are 2 of the championship contenders going at it, while Trevor Giroux is stuck in the 10th position. So the race leaders fighting for every spot they can. If this is a notable gap that puts Giroux really far back, either this would be a dropped race, or this could help out one of the 2 drivers, probably at the best Murano, win the championship if he wins this race or if he finishes second to Sam Bachman. But you have to remember as well, points are taken off for incidents. Who leads at the line? Bachman by 200ths. This is such a phenomenal race for the lead here at Oswego, where Brandon Templeton now at this point has the quicker ride. Bachman with great grip off at turn number 4. Hit the cushion perfectly as he cleared Murano for just a moment. But now Murano with a great run underneath, but a bad turn 2. Bachman gets clear. Look how much handful that Murano has. But Bachman even ripping the lip with 10 laps to go this entire race, still with a great car on corner exit compared to the 32. Murano's car just appears to get a little bit tight. He is going for as much throttle as he can. But now here comes as well the 3rd place car, Brandon Templeton, who is a half a second behind the leaders. 3 cars under a blanket for the lead. 3 wide off at 2 with 9 to go, coming to 8. This is a terrific race going on. Bachman nearly up on the wall. 7 laps remain. Check that 8. Morano going for everything he can find on the bottom. If you can find that moisture just barely next to the jersey plate, you may find something. He found something there in 3 and 4. 7 to go for Anthony Morano. It may come down to a slide job over his teammate if he wants to take the win at Oswego. They've opened up a gap once again on Brandon Templeton. 6 laps remain. Morano so good on corner entry. Bachman's just so good on corner exit though. In the center, it's the 007, which gives him the momentum. 5 laps to go at Oswego. Bachman's lead, 0.3 of a second, continuing to rip the fence. At this point, you can't make any mistakes if you want a shot at the win. But there could be lap traffic ahead. Chris Alvey and Craig Bristol in front. I don't know if that'll be an issue with 4 to go. Morano again shows his nose downstairs. Trevor Giroux still in that 10th position. Right now, looking at points, it should be good enough for him to win the championship. There you saw the lap traffic in the foreground, a straightaway away. 3 laps remain for the top 2 FTM drivers. They have put on a phenomenal duel for at least the last 10 laps. Will they take it to the checkered flag in a photo finish? We'll have to see. 2 sticks in the air. Bachman remains out front. 2 to go. The gap at the line, a car length between Bachman and the Ant-Man. Morano may have to put it deep with a slide job, but a great clear on the corner exit from the 007. At that gap in corner entry, Morano would not be able to throw a slider. He has to get even with them into turn 1. Final lap is underway at Oswego. 2 of the championship drivers. Oh, Bachman to the wall. Morano with a good exit off of turn 2. Side by side to 3. The Ant-Man keeps her downstairs. Bachman tries to follow back. Here they come, door to the line. Oh, baby. Way too close to call. I think it was Bachman. Oh, my goodness. A tantalizing duel between the top 2 comes down to millimeters. Right now, scoring has Bachman by 200ths. Scoring is official. And it's Bachman by 18 thousandths of a second. Ho, ho, ho. Full throttle 1-2 finish. We'll check on the championship points. It should be Trevor Giroux as of right now. Dino trying to get into the shot. Let's watch that one more time. First off, coming to the white flag. We're going to watch this from the aerial shot. Great corner entry from Morano. Does a little small slider. I don't know if Bachman saw the 32, but we saw just barely there. Bachman kissed the boilerplate in turn 1 to allow Morano to have a incredible corner exit. Now we'll put this back in slow-mo once more. Morano decides, he could go for the slider, but decides not to. And here they come to the flag with a great photo finish camera. Look at how tight that is. Bachman barely. Right there. I think that's it. I don't have any other cameras that can show us. That's the look from our booth. I don't think we want... There we go. That's the photo finish cam we're talking about. So a great finish between the top two. Still waiting for points from Patrick Spengler. Sometimes it takes him a while. As you see the top 10 there on your screen. Dean Reynolds, your biggest mover, up 9 spots to finish in 8th. A great long run, though, to the end, where lap traffic as well wasn't even a factor during that long run. Give it up for our modified drivers. So I believe still working on points here as things stand, I believe. Let me double check here. Yeah, still working on points at the moment, but as of the looks of it, Trevor Giroux would be the champion. And so let's get to your top 3. We had Brandon Templeton in the waiting room, then he disappeared for some reason. So let's go to our second place finisher. Oh, nope, hang on. We got him back. All right. Hang on for one moment, Ant-Man. All right. There we go. We got him in now. All righty. Brandon Templeton finishing in 3rd. B-Temp, you closed in on the top 2 while they were side by side. In the end, you were just about a second behind. How'd you feel about your car in the long run tonight?
I didn't mind my car too bad, there. I did kind of reel him in just a little bit and got right up behind Anthony on the inside, and I just messed up because the line I was running to make that speed, I had to be so darn close to that inside wall. It was super, super hard. So hats off to those two. I definitely had the best seat in the house. That was probably the race of the year as far as I'm concerned from where I was at. That was awesome.
What positives do you take away out of not just this run? What positives do you take away out of this run as you head towards the big block looking to win that championship?
I just hope to finish that one, if I can keep it pretty clean and get it top 5, top 10. Hopefully that's enough. I don't know all the math, so I'm not going to pretend to do that and worry about it. I'll just try to keep it clean, get in that top 10 area if I can, and see what I can do.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
I got to thank Jay with the Dirt Track Bank and Malvern Bank there in Malvern, Iowa. Got Your Six Racing Network, Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Big C's Lawn Care, all the guys at Hammer Down Racing, Brian, Kurt, Joe, you for putting on the broadcast, everybody at Coast to Coast, and everyone watching at home. Thank you.
All righty, man. Great job tonight, and good luck in the big block race.
Thanks.
So Brandon Templeton with a 3rd place finish. Let's go to the 2nd place finisher, Anthony Morano. Anthony, 200s off, man. That is got to be a tough pill to swallow. Take me through that final lap. I don't know if you noticed, Bachman scrubbed the wall just barely, but turns 1 and 2, you had a great run there.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually just pure fun. Him up on the top and I was running around the bottom. I thought about actually just throwing a big slider on him and hoping it would stick, but I didn't really want to break his momentum or him tag me any rear end there coming out, so just trying to do whatever I could do to catch Trevor there. I think it was like a 42-point difference coming in, so I knew it would be a pretty big gap to try to catch up on. So but I'm pretty sure Trevor got me covered, so congrats to him on a championship. And that was just a fun race all around. I think me and Sam ran side by side for 20 laps.
Did you consider the slide job at the end or no?
The thought was there, but yeah, it's not really my big thing to do is slide jobs. So I'll just figure try to get a good run out of the corners on the bottom and clear them that way. So I probably could have got away with the slider, just not my thing to do.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
I think my wife Sherry, the boys at FTM, Dean Super Car, Logan at High Bomb Lens, Swan Speed Shop, MDI TV, DJ Sim Shop for the wrap, Expert Installation, you for doing the broadcast, and everyone here at Coast to Coast.
All righty, man. Great job tonight, and best of luck in the big block race.
Thanks, Marty.
And now we go to victory lane to talk with your winner, Sam Bachman, your winner by 0.02 of a second. Sam, it came down to the wire once you took the checkered flag and won. Now I have a good feeling you're now saying that race was fun.
Yeah, I'm telling Anthony that was a blast. Him and I side by side for 20 laps, clean racing. what better could you ask for?
Absolutely. How were you able to keep that car ripping the lip on the high line and not really have any tire loss tonight?
To be honest, I'd have to say Anthony helped me out on that one because I seen him coming, and then I just told myself I really gotta dial in and start hitting this high side. So I can thank him on that. But I don't know, I just zoned in a little bit and started hitting my marks up there, and we were just pretty much dead even the whole time.
The final lap, I got to ask you as well. I saw you scrape the wall just barely. How were you able to regain your momentum coming off the corner and find a way to hang on?
Yeah, I was a little scared right there. I thought he was gonna get me, to be honest, at the end, but I knew if I just let off a little bit and let the car settle back down and get back into it, it would have been good to go. And 3 and 4, I must have just hit perfect, and I caught right back up to him, and we got door to door, and it was just a bumper.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Obviously Anthony for racing me clean, all the boys over at FTM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop, Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, X for Installation, you Marty for broadcasting, and Coast to Coast.
Alrighty, man. Well, great job tonight, and congratulations, and best luck at the big block race.
Thank you.
Now we move on to your champion in the season, and that is Trevor Giroux, Philly Flyer, unofficially right now your champion. I gotta double check and see if the points are updated. I don't believe they are yet, but Trevor, from our looks of it, you are crowned number 1. How does this feel?
Yeah, I mean, it'll feel better when it's official, but it's if I do have it, it's amazing. It'll be my first championship here in this league. It's busted my butt to get one and finally got one. So yeah, it's I want to say it's a long time coming. I've been running this league for a while, and it feels good to be able to get a championship against it. These drivers and this group of guys. It's tough to do. It's like I don't have a win this season in any series, so it's tough to come by these wins, and to just be consistent all season long and come away with a championship. It's an honor, and it was an honor racing with everybody, and especially Anthony and Sam and all those guys at the end there. I'm pretty close with them guys, so congrats to them on a great season, and hopefully we have another good one here coming in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. How'd you feel about your car as a whole tonight?
Tonight, not too good. We kind of buried ourselves in qualifying there, and made some moves in the heat, but just couldn't make anything stick. I think we finished 5th or something like that. But yeah, just got buried in the feature there, and avoided a wreck, and I think we finished 9th. So didn't really get past. So it was just one of those tracks. It's I don't know what the front guys were doing, but I found it was hard to pass on, and I tried to make that bottom work all night long, and it's kind of tricky down there on the bottom, and you hit that wall and you get some wheel damage and your night's over. But I don't mind this track at all. I really need to figure it out.
Well, who do you want to give shout outs to?
I just got to thank all the guys at Venom. It's been a pleasure being a part of this team, and if I do end up getting the championship, we'll add that to the list that Venom got this season. So it's pretty cool to see Venom doing as good as we are here, and everyone at C2C for putting this on. And I just got to thank Procore LDS, Dean with the Super Dirt Car Series, JRB Designs, you Marty for the broadcast. I love having you up here, and hopefully you're back next season, man.
Well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight. Congratulations on the championship, and best of luck in the big block.
Thanks, Marty.
So Trevor Giroux, your top dog in Fixed 358 competition. We will step aside and go to break. When we come back, it's big block time right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
Outpouring of love. It was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling, pelvic bone was broken, I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback. Received another donation from. I just thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we prepare for big block action here at the Oswego Speedway. And one more championship to be crowned. Again, congratulations to Trevor Giroux on taking home the title as fixed 358 title, fixed setup 358 champion. So as we get set to go for tonight, we have 3 drivers that are pretty much eligible to win this championship as we're moments away from qualifying beginning. 21 drivers is the car count. 3 of them, though, in a championship battle. Here are the points coming on in with a race to go. Brandon Templeton with a 21-point lead on Anthony Morano, while Dylan Kinsey is in third, 38 points behind. So this could be tight to the finish, though, that's for sure. As we're going to pop up the times here and show you where your favorite driver is in practice. And it's Clay Christopherson at the top of the charts at the moment. Paint scheme still loading up here, so he has that 51 car. Take a look and see some of the other paint schemes. There's Dino once again with his Roger Horvath paint scheme. Brian Dickens is put the 27J in the trailer, and it's brought back out the number 122. A couple of other paint schemes we're going to take a look at here while we wait to go. There's Brian Lawson's Alex Jankowski paint scheme. Nice to finally interview Alex a couple weeks ago at Land of Legends after his second place finish. Was just crowned Fonda Speedway track champion. So Dylan Kinsey, 38 points behind in the championship. Could have a chance to win one tonight. Just has to hope for luck go his way, pretty much. So, believe drivers are in their meeting here at the moment before we go qualifying for 2 minutes. As the checkers are out. So qualifying underway, 2 minutes. First driver we'll watch is the jokester, Michael Vitale. Again, 2 minutes to set a time here. With 20 drivers here tonight, we will have 3 heats of action. So that means keep an eye out on the drivers 10th through 12th as they're looking to start on the pole in their heat races. Vitale pushes up just a little bit. Brandon Templeton appears to be the quickest right now of all drivers, and he is. So B-Temp, 1876 on lap number 1. See if anybody else appears up here in purple. Dean Reynolds goes second with a 1904 in the Roger Horvath 79. Clay Christopherson up to second. Remember, 10th to 12th are the names. Wentz, McLaren, and Hine currently there. Bachman up to 5th on lap number 1. As a couple of drivers here take the checkered flag on qualifying. I think it was Blake Chapman I saw move up to 6th, not Sam Bachman. Giroux, Wentz, and Vecchio, your pole sitters at the moment for heat action. Jeff Barker up to 11th quickest. Off on lap 2 was Blake at a 1923. Michael Vecchio jumps up to right now provisional pole in heat race number 2. And so that will do it for qualifying. Brandon Templeton, the quickest car in 1876. So that should be a big help for him going into the heat race and the feature. But it's Trevor Giroux, Michael Vecchio, and Jeff Barker. Points, by the way, are official. Trevor Giroux, the 358 modified champion, by 20 points on Anthony Morano. So we're ready to go for our first of 3 heat races tonight. Heat 1 brought to you by Gambler Motorsports. Here's the starting lineup. Speaking of the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux on pole for heat race number 1. Brian Dickens is next to him in the 122. Row number 2, Michael Vitale in the 213. The jokester next to B-Temp, Brandon Templeton, the 31. Row number 3, Logan Wentz in the 118. To its inside, it's the 00 of Harold Klump. Rounding out the field, the 7 of Bob DeGood. So Coast to Coast has our own little general chat on Discord. And Patrick Spangler said, congrats to Trevor on bringing the championship back to Canada, because we all know it's been forever, because we all know the Canadian hockey teams can't get it done. Boom. Boom. And you see, that's why Trevor's a Philly fan. He's going to be a fan of an American team. At least he decided not to become a Sabres fan, because we all know the pain being a Sabres fan. I had to go there. So here we go for heat race number 1. Winner on pole for tonight's 30-lap feature. This time we've traded those small blocks to big blocks, 800 horsepower without all the mess. We're green for heat 1. Giroux with the lead, Dickens in second. Vitale and Templeton do battle for third. You saw Beat Time scrape the boilerplate with the Nerf bar, but good run around the outside looking for the third spot. Lap 1 led by Trevor Giroux. Vitale, though, edges out Templeton by a hair. As the 31 able to clear and now sets his sights towards his hammer down racing teammate in Brian Dickens. Remember, finishing second in this heat race means a 4th place starting spot in the feature. So if you're Beat Time, you don't want to go Trevor Giroux's route and have to start from the 7th position tonight in the feature. Giroux, though, definitely improving on his lap times here at Oswego. 19:02 that lap. Everyone else about 2/10 behind. So the Philly Flyer doing what he wants to do at the moment. Start near the front for this big block feature, our 358 champion. Wentz and Vitale racing for 4th. Luckily, everybody in the show, regardless of where you finish in the heat races tonight. 2 just barely touch, but a touch is always okay at Oswego. Just don't want to shove the guy. White flag out, final lap underway. 19:01 that last lap for Giroux. Quickest driver on the track with an 18:97. So the Philly Flyer and the Venom Racing number 75 puts her on the pole position tonight for the big block feature. Giroux wins heat 1. Dickens second, Templeton third, Wentz 4th, Vitale 5th, Klump 6th, and Bob DeGood in 7th. So now move on to heat race number 2, brought to you by Regency Home Inspection. And the lineup looks like this. Vecchio, Michael Vecchio on pole in the 007. Next to him, the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32. Row number 2, Sam Bachman in the 107. As Clay Christopherson to the outside in the 51. Row 3, Soupy, Dan McLaren in the 88. And Brian Lawson and Alex Inkowski's 84Y. Rounding out the grid tonight, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. So the winner starts outside of the front row for tonight's 30-lap feature. Vecchio and Morano bring us to the green flag. Here we go for heat 2. Vecchio with a lot of tire spin coming to the green flag. 3 wide for second, as that's Bachman looking for a chance at that runner-up spot. Can't do it as he was stuck between the Jersey barrier and Vecchio, who gets sideways off the bumper road, Dan McLaren, and finds a way to save that 747. Lap number 1, meanwhile, led by Anthony Morano. Here comes Clay Christopherson downstairs for the lead, leading a trio of full-throttle motorsports cars. Great corner exit for the 51 of Christopherson as he leads lap number 2. Morano, though, fighting back on the outside, the same line that Bachman used to win the big block feature. You can clearly tell the difference between the big block and the small block in that race car, whether you're driving or watching. Lap times, you can see it too. Low 19 seconds we're seeing. 358s were running mid to high 19-second times. So putt out front. Good battle for third. Brian Lawson hanging on. Near contact with Bachman for the third spot. You don't want to mess up Kid Lightning's ride. Morano, bad entry into turn number 3, allows Christopherson to pull away. White flag is out on the final lap. So it's the driver in the Full Throttle Motorsports 51 that will start second in tonight's 30-lap feature through 3 and 4. Christopherson picks up the win in heat race number 2. Morano second, Bachman third, Lawson fourth, Vecchio fifth, Bixler sixth, and McLaren seventh. Final heat race brought to you by Maurer Farm Management. Here's the starting lineup. The Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker on pole in the 513. Next to him, Dylan Kinsey in the 639. Row number 2, the Salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20, and Dean Reynolds in the 79. Row number 3, the Professor, John Hine in the 71. Next to him, the Bandit, Randall Dixon in the 011. Final driver on the grid tonight, the Desert Demon, the Yoo-Hoo Man, Terry Landis in the 161. Winner starts inside of row 2 for our 30-lap feature. Barker and Kinsey bring us to the green flag. Heat 3, green lights are on. Bad start from Jeff Barker allows Kinsey to get the lead. Dean Reynolds looks for the second position. Blake Chapman again tries the basement, clips the 513 of Barker. Up the hill he goes. Chapman finds a way to save it. Everybody keep her straight. Lap number 1 led by the 639 of Dylan Kinsey with Dean Reynolds and the Roger Horvath ride chasing after his Full Throttle teammate. He's got a handful there. Look at the hands move on that steering wheel going down the back chute. At some points, you really need to catch it. John Hine, quickest car on track in 4th. And a 19:22 that last time by. Tries to chase down Jeff Barker for that 3rd spot. Wishing the Professor all the best. Actually wishing his daughter all the best in her road to recovery. It's been publicized a lot on the coast-to-coast social airwaves lately. So we're halfway home, 3 up and 3 down. Kinsey still leads by about 2 car lengths on Dean Reynolds. Oh, John Hine up in the wall. Around goes the 71 as he just received the commentator's jinx. Sorry, Professor. 2 to go as the front of the field remain up on the cushion. Dino explored a lower exit off of turn number 2. Didn't really work the best for the 79 as the white flag flies. Final lap underway. Will be a big heat win for Dylan Kinsey at that 639. As coming off of turn number 4, checkers wave. And the man 3rd in points takes the win in heat 3. So a good championship battle in the front of this field tonight from the looks of it. It is going to be a fun 30-lap feature to crown a big block championship. We'll step aside and go to break. When we come back, the feature. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Raceway. They're lean. They're mean. They're 7.
You're watching the Coast to Coast Racing League Big Block Modified Division on the C2C Racing Network, presented by Flatline Racing Bodies.
Just realized I had my mic muted. Clay Christopherson the quickest at 19:052. Logan Wentz 2000s back in second. Sam Bachman third. Dylan Kinsey fourth. And Brandon Templeton fifth. Let's look at the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. I love that Yoo-Hoo scheme. It's always when you think of the Hall of Famer, gotta think of that Yoo-Hoo scheme. Kinsey in fourth. We're a few seconds away from moving on to our feature for tonight. And so the checkers wave here. We are ready to meet the field for tonight's big block feature, 21 drivers strong. Here's a look at the RSN trackside starting lineup. On the pole, the Philly Flyer, Trevor Giroux in the 75 to the outside, Clay Christopherson in the 51. Row number 2, Dylan Kinsey in the 639 and Brian Dickens in the 122. Row number 3, the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano in the 32 and Dean Reynolds in the Roger Hervath 79. Row 4, B-Temp, Brandon Templeton in the 31, and Sam Bachman in the 107. Rounded out the top 10, the Salesman, Blake Chapman in the 20, and Logan Wentz in the 118. Row number 6, it's Brian Lawson in car number 9, and the Bird to Beast, Jeff Barker in the 513. Row number 7, Michael Vitale in the 213, and Michael Vecchio in the 007. Row 8, Randall Dixon in the 011, and Harold Klump in the 00. Final set of cars on the grid tonight, Steve Bixler in the 75, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis, that's row number 9. Row 10, Bob DeGood in the 7, and Soupy Damicler in the 88, rounding out the grid tonight. Rounding out the grid tonight, the Professor, John Hine, in car 71. So as we get set to go green, my pick to win our feature here tonight, give me the driver of the 51, Clay Christopherson, to go to victory lane. Let's know your pick to win in chat here tonight. Combined 11 viewers watching on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as well as Slide Job Racing Network. The field makes the way off for turn number 2. Steve King Foundation pace car is in. 21 cages of cold metal with hot rubber at the corners set to do battle for 30 laps. Well, for the final time this season, it's time to shake and bake. Because where else would you rather be than right here, right now, from coast to coast? Championship night at the Oswego Speedway. Giroux and Christopherson bring us to green. The big blocks are good to go. Flatline Racing Bodies, green flag. Door to door for the race lead. The 51 looks to put her out in front. Off the corner, Putt leads lap number 1. Giroux second, Kinsey third, Dickens fourth, and a battle for 5th between Morano and Reynolds. Look at Giroux trying to fight back. Great run around the outside. The Philly Flyer goes back to the point for now. But a great 3 and 4 for Kristofferson. Low line 3 and 4, high side 1 and 2. As we go back to the battle for third between Morano and Kinsey, the teammates. A reminder of the point standings coming in. 21-point lead for Templeton over Anthony Morano, who is currently in third at the moment. Dylan Kinsey fourth, coming in 38 points behind. A four-way battle for the lead at the moment. Morano again back on that baby bottom where he was in the 358 feature. Dylan Kinsey following suit with his teammate, and a good exit from Morano allows him to get not really side by side with Kristofferson just yet, but he is still wheel to wheel with the 75 of the Philly Flyer. You can tell how bumpy this track is off of turn number 2. Gotta really hang on to that car for dear life, that's for sure. As Kristofferson continues to lead, a great 1 and 2 though for Anthony Morano. Could put that 32 out in front for the first time. And now the 5th place car. Sam Bachman is reeled in the top 4. Morano, a good exit. He's got that full throttle ride out in front, but can the 51 of Kristofferson fight back? He cannot. New leader Anthony Morano in the 32. Let's go to the race for 7th position. Blake Chapman makes his way past Dean Reynolds. Brandon Templeton trying to gain some ground on the championship leaders. Right now, Anthony Morano leading. Keep in mind, and it's updated on us, a win is 75 points. Bonus points, though, are in effect. If you have 0x, I think that's 5 bonus points. So that could be the max 80. If Brandon Templeton right now finishes 9th, he'd have 56 points. Ooh, Dino up the wall. And Dino with a big wreck. Brian Dick is involved. Terry Landis with ARCA brakes. Bob DeGood catches a piece. Yellows out. We'll talk about the championship in just a moment, but first caution waves here tonight as Dean Reynolds and Brian Dickens get into it. Here's the replay of what happened. Saw some netco there, and Dickens just got in the back of Dean Reynolds as that 79 car was hanging on for dear life. Right on board. This is for the back bumper of Dino. Yeah, it's crazy to think how much speed that Reynolds picked up off the bump from Brian Dickens. There you see Terry Landis get involved as well. Right from the front end of Dickens. I don't think he saw that coming. I don't think either driver saw it coming. So correction, by the way, 0 instant points would be 3 points. So right now, Morano would have 78 points. Brandon Templeton, thanks to that accident, now up to 7th. That would be 63 points. So right now, if you drop the worst finish, which we're guessing is not the worst finish for either driver, your champ would be B-Temp by unofficially 8 points. So here we come back to green for the restart. Morano, the leader, selects the bottom. Kristofferson second. Giroux is third. Bachman fourth. And Dylan Kinsey rounds out the top 5 as we come back to green with 9 laps on the board.
Green, green, green.
Morano able to hold serve. Giroux, Kristofferson continue to duke at it for second spot. Brandon Templeton saw an opening, tried to go for it on Dylan Kinsey for 6th. Unfortunately, did not get it to work. May cost him another spot, maybe to Logan Wentz. Great battling off the corner. Giroux gets tight. Kinsey with an opening. He moves up to 5th. Oh, look out, Templeton. Rear ends the 75. And the wall he goes. Big implications towards the championship. And now he goes around. No caution flag waves. And now it comes out. Brandon Templeton's championship hopes may have just dashed from underneath him. He loses the 3 points. Loses 5 points when you think of it. 3 points for the bonus points, and then the 2x. So that is a huge development towards the championship standings. Rear ends Trevor Giroux sideways, finds a way to save it. And then there's so much net code going on between him. I believe that's Vecchio. As well as, I think it was Jeff Barker as well. Dang, what a shame. This is from Steve Bixler. Michael Vecchio. So for B-Temp, now in the back of the field when we come back to green. But you got to think of this as well at the same time. This is a tough track to pass with how narrow the Oswego Speedway is. So it may be tough for him to get a good finish like 7th through 10th or something like that. So this is big for both Morano or maybe even Dylan Kinsey. Right now, this could favor the Ant-Man. We come back to green. Watch this restart from the blimp. 11 laps complete. Immediately pulls away. Sam Bachman, trouble for Templeton once again. Around he goes. And that adds more 2x. And we have more trouble in turn 2 in front. Jeff Barker also gathering a piece of that one. I'll show you what happened once again to the points leader coming in. Ooh, stack up in front with the 213, the 118. Just a park out. Whoa! Bob D. Good with a wild ride. I want to see his onboard on that. We'll watch a couple onboards. Let's watch Jeff Barker. Just ducking and diving. Great misses for the 513. Steve Bixler restarted next to the driver, the 31. Track is pretty much littered at this point. Now watch the 7 car. This is going to be a ride we're going to want to hang on. Ten out of 10 for Bob. May need to go for a spot on the gymnastics team. The U.S. gymnastics team in 4 years when they come to L.A. So some things here as well to keep in mind. 539 points for Brandon Templeton if you have one drop included. Worst finish of the season for B-Temp is a 12th. Right now, he is in 13th. If he's 13th or worse, he'll end the season with 539 points.
Green flag.
And I believe that would help out Morano and Kinsey. It's either 539 or 487 as we come back to the green. So your top 3 FTM drivers hold serve. Look who's up to 4th, though. Renegades champion Blake Chapman could contend for a podium position. battling with the 107 of Sam Bachman, who won the 358 feature moments ago. Both of them running the high side. Top two were working downstairs. To the race for 6 and more trouble. Templeton again around. And that may do it for him tonight. Keep the car going, but a lot of rear end damage to a car who I would assume has already used the quick repair. This is just turning from good to bad to ugly for the 31. Here's what happened. Templeton trying to get past both Vecchio and Hine. They just got together. Vecchio went up the track and Templeton got up the track. B-Temp's just having a tough time getting past that 747. The iRacing number, not the true iRacing number, the paint scheme number. Sorry, do not confuse that car with Roger Craig. Both of them kind of at a handful at the same time, but those two are like magnets. They are attracted to each other. But remember, Templeton has to stay in this fight, or else likely he will lose this championship. That third place finish for B-Temp definitely helped him out. Give him an idea towards our feature tonight with the big blocks. But right now, this is just not turning out the way it wants to be. Right now, scored in the 15th position is Brandon. Dylan Kinsey in 5th, and Anthony Morano, the race leader. And think of as well all the X's that are racking up, the instant points racking up for Templeton. That can't be good either. Halfway home. Again, single file restarts for the rest of this race because we've reached the maximum threshold of double file restarts. Back to the restart.
Flag, green flag.
Good jump again from the Ant-Man. Bachman still trying to grab that second spot from the 51. Blake Chapman smooth through 3 and 4. Still looking for that podium spot. But again, Bachman, just like the 358 feature, so good on corner exits. Biggest mover on track is the man in 7th, Dan McLaren. Started back in 20th, now runs in the 7th position. Looking for 6th on Dylan Kinsey, trying to avoid losing a spot to Harold Klump in that 00. Let's go back up to 3rd because Chapman with a good run off at turn 4. Bachman in the wall for a moment. Slide job from the salesman. Crisscross from Bachman. And we got a good race for the lead once again as well. Christopherson all over the 32 for the lead. Side by side all around. I could not tell who led at the line. Michael Vecchio has jumped to the pits. He is likely done for the night. If Christopherson can clear Morano off at turn number 4, you will have a new leader at the line with 10 laps to go. And you do. Clay Christopherson out in front. As we pull up the 5-lap average once again. He, alongside Trevor Giroux in 5th, have the quickest cars on the racetrack. In fact, Giroux has caught the 107 around the outside. The Philly Flyer looking for 4. Chapman to the wall, pretty good. And Giroux and Bachman use it to their advantage. And so Bachman back on the podium. Update on Brandon Templeton, currently in the 13th spot. A pass on Brian Lawson move up to 12, so this race will count towards points as of right now. 8 laps remain. Your top 2, big gap on the third place driver. And Giroux around the outside up to third. I believe Bachman caught the Jersey barrier. The Philly Flyer, 2 seconds behind Christopherson, and is continuing to gain ground. Here's the time delta in the last 5 laps. Just about identical, but when you compare Giroux's lap time, Morano the better car in the last 2 laps, but that was because Giroux was side by side with drivers for position. This time, Morano's still just a bit faster. So the Philly Flyer needs a yellow flag if he wants a chance at the win. And folks, Brandon Templeton is passing cars left and right. This is for 9th on Harrow Clump. This could be a game changer in the championship with 5 laps to go. Right now, 56 points for 9th, 72 for 2nd. But you got to keep the instant points in mind for B-Town. This is going to be one of the closest endings to a championship race as the things are looking. Jeff Barker, Logan Wentz for 7th. Every position for Brandon Templeton now matters because he is on the brink of defeat at the moment. With 3 to go from all the incidents he's been involved in. At least 6X for the 31 tonight. Imagine if he can win this championship, pulling off an all-amazing comeback to finish in 9th at the end. With the drivers in front of him, could it help or hurt his momentum with 2 laps to go? Back on board with the 31. White flag is out meanwhile. Final lap underway for Clay Christopherson, the driver of the Full Throttle Motorsports number 51. 6th start of the year in big block action, and it will be win number 1. Car length and a half lead on Anthony Morano through turns number 3 and 4. Christopherson with the win. Morano finishes 2nd, a great 2nd place finish. He did all he could to try and win the championship. Here comes Templeton across the line in 9th. We'll have to see what the points gap looks like at the end because of the instant points that B-Temp had. So we do not know who your champion is. We know your top 3 finishers, though. Christopherson, Morano, and Giroux. Your biggest mover tonight as well, Bob DeGood, up 7 spots to finish 12th after starting 19th. So get you your official results here. Christopherson, the winner by a half second on Anthony Morano. Giroux 3rd, Chapman 4th, Bachman 5th, Kinsey 6th, Barker 7th, Wentz 8th, Templeton 9th, and Brian Lawson round out the top 10. Look at some of your other finishers here tonight. Again, Bob DeGood with a good charge. John Hine with a really good charge as well. Heartbreaks, of course, Dean Reynolds, Brian Dickens. Again, we are waiting for the final update in the championship standings. We will get that to you as soon as we can. With 1 drop in effect, it was Templeton by about 70. However, though, if you include both drops in, it was Templeton by 21. So we are still waiting on how everything looks. We're going to talk to, while we wait for that, while we wait to figure out who the champion is, let's go to your 3rd place finisher in Trevor Giroux. Trevor, a great run for you tonight, and it seemed like your car was really good on the short run, especially on that final restart, passing cars left and right.
Yeah, honestly, the car felt great tonight. This track was just really, really rough. It kind of made it interesting. You had to. Yeah, I was kind of basically half throttle down the straightaways there, just so the car wouldn't get so upset. But yeah, the car felt great. I don't think I had anything for these guys up front though. I mean, Clay and Anthony, these guys were just gone. Won our heat race, so set ourselves up pretty good tonight. But yeah, these Clay and Anthony there, them guys were just untouchable. So we'll definitely take home third. It feels like it's been a while since I've been on podium. So
Hey, it's still a successful night. You got a 358 championship out of it. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
oh, just gotta thank all the guys at Venom. It's been a pleasure racing and being part of this team, and everyone at C2C. Gotta thank Procore LDS, JRB Designs, Brown Fence and Deck, Dean Reynolds with the Super Dirt Car Series, you Marty for doing the broadcast. I think I'm forgetting somebody, but I can't remember. But yeah, thank you to everybody who makes this stuff happen. Looking forward to next season.
A great run. Congratulations on a great season.
Thanks, Marty.
Trevor Giroux in third, and just double checking everything. And it is official. Anthony Morano is your champion tonight. 2 points over Brandon Templeton. One less incident. We would have been talking likely about B-Temp as the championship, or maybe even 2 less incidents. Because I believe we do tiebreaker by IL here. So Anthony Morano is the champion. We will hold off on talking to Anthony in just a moment. We are going to talk to your winner, though, Clay Christopherson. Clay, a great win. Take me through your pass on Morano to get it done.
It's a pretty bottom dominant track, so even right at the feature, I started second. We had the little slider, so he wanted the top, and I just kind of said, that works for me. We traded spots right on turn 1, so after that, I didn't really go anywhere else. I just putted around the bottom, and it stuck, so.
How'd you feel about, I mean, let me take that back. I know you said this was a bottom dominant track, but earlier on tonight we saw Bachman use the top and it worked out really well. Why was that? Why did we see the bottom be a little bit more dominant tonight from your perspective?
Tires actually don't wear too much here, but they heat up. And I figured if I stayed on the bottom and I ran consistent, I should be able to outrun a lot of the people in the long run for if I needed to defend for the last 5-10 laps. So Morano left that little bit of a door open on the bottom, and I took it as quick as I could.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
All you guys for putting this on, guys at FTM, Swan Speed Shop for all the 358 and big block setups.
Great job, great season, man, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, thank you.
So Clay Christopherson,
hey Marty, you got me
winner.
here?
Patrick Spangler has us in the booth. He's been doing the points. I saw Anthony Morano as the champ by 2 points, but you got anything else?
Hold on, I'm middle of the race. So I had Roger do it. It's missing qualifying points. I'm in the middle of the race, so I can't fix it. But either of them finished in the top 5 in qualifying. Do you know?
Oh my, we've got about qualifying points. Let me take a look.
I can do it in a little bit, but I got 27 laps left.
I can do it right now. Let's see here. That's the feature from the small blocks. I can tell you right now. Stand by. We'll get it to you. Don't worry. Let's see here. Top 5, Templeton 5, Christopherson 4, Reynolds 3, Vitale 2nd, Vitale 2, Bachman 1. So
Morano Templeton by 3, wouldn't it?
Oh my goodness. Holy moly, Templeton by 3. Wow. Brandon, if you're watching, get your rear end in the chat. So, all right, thank you, Patrick. All right, let's bring in Anthony Morano. Anthony, we just heard the unfortunate news. We saw the points.
That can be good.
Yeah, we saw the points. You were champion by 2 points. That did not, though, include the qualifying points from tonight, I don't believe. So right now you would lose by 3 points.
Ouch.
Yes, but man, I know you wanted that win badly tonight, though.
Yeah, that's rough. But I mean, Clay was faster than me by a long shot. So yeah, I was just racing, and did whatever I could. So we'll take second in the race, second in points, and we'll keep plugging away and go on to next year.
Who do you want to give shout-outs to on this run?
I got to thank my wife, Sherry, the boys at FTM, Dean at Super Air Car, Logan at High Mom Lens, DJ Sim Shop, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop, MDI TV, Expert Installation, Castaway Flagstone, Marty, you for doing a broadcast, everyone at Coast to Coast, Mr. Spangler back there for keeping us updated on the points.
Alrighty, man. We'll let you go. That's a heartbreak. That's one of the worst heartbreaks I've had to deal with, that's for sure. Probably even worse than the last 2 relationships I've had.
It could be a drop week too. I just did the 5 points, so let me see real quick.
It would be, I'm pretty sure it would be Templeton by 3. Because Anthony...
No, that was Templeton's drop, so Morano won by 2. I just updated it.
Oh, you did?
Oh.
Alrighty. Well, you got it.
I feel better already. See, that's why I love Spangler.
Well, now how do you feel?
Relieved. Yeah, it was a fun race there. I mean, the matinee today, me and Clay battled out pretty good too. So it's a lot of fun. The FTM, top 2 in all 3 races today. So we'll take that. And it's always good to have the team up front. Running good, winning races. That's always a good thing. Is keeps the team going. So. Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, that's awesome news. I really didn't think I was going to pick up a win in the night series at all for a championship, but I'm definitely happy about it.
Patrick, stay here. Anthony, enjoy this one. Congratulations on the championship.
Thank you, sir.
So Morano right now gets it done. The full list of champions will be on c2crl.com. So with that, we will sign off here on tonight on behalf of the Coast to Coast Racing Network, all the fine drivers, admins, and sponsors. Roger Craig and his great crew of admins and executives. I'm Marty Scala, sign off. Congratulations to your winners here tonight. Sam Bachman in 358s, Clay Christopherson in the big blocks, and your champions, Trevor Giroux officially in the 358s, and Anthony Morano in the big blocks. So long, everyone.